It's time for Around the Ozarks News, brought to you by the Springfield Greene County Park Board, Kitchen Land USA, and Thompson Sales. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
Hey, good morning to you on, what is today? Tuesday. And it feels like Monday to me, but look who's back. It's Sarah. She is freshly back. Yeah.
Good to be back. Good to be back with you.
We missed you. I know you were I know you were in San Francisco in a Escape from Alcatraz race. We'll hear about that coming up in just a little bit because it was quite an adventure. I know.
We'll do some news first.
Yeah. Man from Battlefield was arrested in a Springfield park, accused of exposing himself to children. That happened close to the playground at Nathaniel Green Park in front of 2 children. Police recalled the 49-year-old man was arrested nearby. An Arkansas man, meanwhile, is in the Greene County Jail accused of abusing animals. About 130 animals, from pigs and goats to rabbits and chickens, were found in a trailer he was pulling. They were in bins there. Springfield police were called about it and found the kennels to be in poor condition, most without water for the animals. The 34-year-old man had driven from Yellville, Arkansas to Springfield to sell the animals at swap meets.
The special session of the Missouri legislature is underway. On the first day, lawmakers filed more than a dozen bills. I think mostly it's about keeping the Chiefs and Royals in Missouri, but they are also discussing relief for tornado victims. The session is expected to last for a couple weeks. We will see what happens. Governor Kehoe wants to get an offer in front of the Chiefs and the Royals soon and very soon because Kansas is already trying to incentivize them. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's a lot on the line. There's a lot on the line.
That we've gotten to this point, honestly.
Yeah.
Tonight is a chance for you to hear more about a plan to improve Sunshine Street. We told you about this a couple weeks ago, but tonight's the night. The city is hosting an open house from 6 to 8 tonight at Jefferson Avenue Baptist Church on East Sunshine. There at Jefferson and Sunshine. The city will collect feedback about a 3-mile stretch of sunshine between Kansas Expressway and Glenstone. So if you have a vested interest, tonight is your night. Yes. Yeah. Students are now able to enroll in Ozarks Tech's newly approved applied science degree in aviation, airframe, and power plant technology. Kind of cool. The authorization to offer that was just granted by the Federal Aviation Administration. It'll take place at the new Aviation Training Center, which is at the Springfield Airport.
Okay. All right. Springfield Public Schools, meanwhile, will break ground on a brand new Pipkin Middle School next week. The ceremonial start of construction will be at 5 o'clock next Monday. The 115,000 square foot building will be built at Campbell and Division. If you know that area, it's right behind headquarters for the Assemblies of God. Work should be completed by August of next year. So brand new Pipkin Middle School on the way. And Springfield, in that same area, is getting a soccer pub, just like the ones in Europe. Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah, it's coming from the owners of the Springfield Brewing Company. The pub will be traditional, meaning no food served, drinks only. Instead, you can bring in your own food if you want to eat, or you can order food in. There's a pizza house nearby. Walk over and grab yourself a pie and bring it back. The attraction will be soccer matches on TV, including all Premier League games, which
that is crazy, isn't it?
Fun to watch. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The new soccer pub will be called Mumbles 1888 and will be on Commercial Street, where Ruthie's used to be, if you know Ruthie's.
Yeah. Okay.
A unique concept, certainly for these parts, I would say.
Yeah, it is.
Hope it works, though.
Me too.
And it is official. Springfield is the cashew chicken capital of the world. Okay, not really officially official, but that's the declaration from the Tourism Bureau in town. And honestly, it just makes good sense, I think, because it was here in Springfield back in 1963 that David Leong created the dish for the very first time, and it's become a runaway hit since then. In fact, cities all across the country make Springfield cashew chicken, right? So now Visit Springfield has created a way to try the great dish at different places around town and win prizes in the process. It's year two of the Springfield Cashew Chicken Trail. Bless you. You don't need an app. You just sign up for the free pass at springfieldmo.org. Springfieldmo.org. You sign up there, and then you check in when you eat at participating restaurants to collect points that you can redeem for a reward. This whole thing lasts until it's a year long. So the end of May next year is how long this goes on. There are lots of restaurants on there. You can find them, map them, make plans to be there, and then get points for eating there.
Okay. So I got to tell you, I did not know that other cities made Springfield's cashew chicken.
And they call it Springfield Cashew Chicken.
I love that.
Places. Yeah.
See, to me, that is actually what makes it official.
Right. I mean, it's all but a done deal, I would say.
That's neat. Okay. Tomorrow, Wednesday, it is the free concert in Founders Park in downtown Springfield featuring the Springfield Community Jazz Ensemble. So that'll be super awesome. It is a half-hour show. It's free. Just bring your lunch and go join your friends and neighbors and eat lunch on the square and enjoy some good music while you're at it. Also tomorrow is the matinee at the Gilloy's Theater, the Wednesday matinee. It starts at 2:00, but they open the doors at 1:00. Senior citizens, this is really for you because you can get such a great deal, a free combo ticket, proof of ID. So you have to prove your age because you look young. You look younger than you used to.
That's true.
Everybody else, though, it's $10. And the showing for tomorrow is the 1958 film Vertigo.
Okay.
There you go. Do you know it? Are you familiar?
I do remember that movie from years ago.
I do not, but I'm a fan of the Gilloys. So either way, it's a good time.
It is a good time. Yeah.
All right. And then we do want to give honor where honor is due. Midwest Family Radio, which is the one who owns the Around the Ozarks brand. Because there's lots of podcasts, not just the news, but Emily Wood, who is one of our former coworkers from KY3, she just won Best Podcast. It is At Home with Emily. It's part of the Around the Ozarks brand. And I'm just super excited for her. She interviews people of all shapes and sizes and backgrounds and walks, and it's good. So check it out, aroundtheozarks.com. You can see all the different things. Also, the Midwest Family Marketing, like that whole ownership group, they were just named the Medium Market Radio Station of the Year. So that's a big deal. Yep. I mean, they took a lot of awards recently at the Missouri Broadcasters Association. And I just think it's awesome. There's a lot to be celebrated. And we're glad that you're tuning in.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're doing great work over there. And I think it's a really good idea that General Manager Brian Tyndall came up with when he created Around the Ozarks. It's hyper local because, a lot of the stuff you can get lots of places, national news, bias of all different sorts. But if you keep it hyper local,
bias of any flavor, in fact.
Correct. There's an audience for hyper local because people always want to know what's happening around town. So we decided that sounded great. So we wanted to be part of that and keep it hyper local and focus on things that people want to know about and see around town. And we hope we're doing a good job for you.
Yeah.
We do have a lot of contests. It's interesting
because I don't know that everybody knows what hyper local means, but if you go through our rundown on any given day, for instance, today, story from Battlefield, story from Greene County, story from the Chiefs and the Royals, story from Sunshine Street, story from Ozarks Tech. In other words, hyper local would mean that it is like very specific to life in the Springfield metro area.
Correct. The Ozarks, as it were.
The Ozarks, as it were. Because I feel like when you say hyper local, people might be like, what?
I give people more credit than that. I think they're smart. I think they figure it out.
You still call it a tarmac.
Because that's what it is. That's what everybody else calls it.
It's never been called a tarmac.
If I say tarmac, everybody knows what I'm talking about.
No, it's the apron, actually.
Actually. We have to do a study now to see how many people know each of those. Because that's absurd.
Nobody knows it's an apron unless they're going through OTC's aviation school. Yeah. At which point they probably do. All right.
Hey, we
sorry,
have,
sir. You're talking contest.
yeah, we got a couple of contests because we like to do that hyper local at aroundtheozarks.com and on the Around the Ozarks app. The first one's about Father's Day because it's coming up quick. All this week, you can enter a father to receive a 4-pack of tickets to Cardinals Cubs at Busch Stadium Saturday, August 9th. That is thanks to our friends over there at 105.1 The Bull, which, of course, is your home, radio home to the St. Louis Cardinals. In addition to that, as if the baseball game weren't enough for tickets, you get a $50 gift card to Jim's Steakhouse. So you get to have a nice meal as well. So there you go. AroundTheOzarks.com or on the app to enter that contest. And then we have another contest. That one's running this week. The other contest is running the rest of the month. It's with Adventure Seekers Branson, a very cool place to take kids. They've got all sorts of interactive exhibits, like 150 plus of them. So it'll keep your kids entertained for quite a while. Virtual reality, classic arcades. So from old to new, it's got everything. Multi-sensory flight adventure ride, indoors, air conditioned, because if you check with Abby Dyer's Wake Up Weather coming up, I think rain is coming in for the rest of the week and the weekend. So it's a place to take the kids, and you'll get passes there. We're giving away passes, 4-pack of tickets each week in June. So now's your chance to enter at aroundtheozarks.com.
Very good. All right.
Now tell us about what you did. You did the Escape from Alcatraz triathlon in San Francisco on Sunday.
And what a year to do it whenever President Trump has been talking about potentially reopening Alcatraz. So that was kind of fun. We drove around the prison. We boated around the prison and then jumped off and swam 1.5 miles in the San Francisco Bay. It was 55-degree water. I did learn that the sharks in the bay are apparently bottom feeders. So that made me feel a little bit better. The race folks did not tell me that, but some locals told me that they are bottom feeders. So I swam 1.5 miles. It was absolutely terrifying. It was as scary as it sounds. Got out of the water, ran barefoot 0.5 mile down a road to my bicycle, jumped on that. And I don't know if you've ever been to San Francisco, but I certainly had not. And this is what the hills look like. I mean, I'm not kidding. Like, they are 60-degree grade. It's crazy. So uphill, downhill, uphill, downhill, uphill. I mean, but I love every minute of it. Ethan bought me the race for Christmas. And look at that. That is me doing an interview with the media there. They asked if I would do a story just about women in sports and about racing with my children. My children were not in this race. That would not be good. But there I am with the camera crew. I'm in the green shirt. Normally
and
I'm
that
the
water
one
behind you.
Camera, but
that water
yeah,
behind
so that's
you
the Golden Gate Bridge. Can you see the Golden Gate Bridge?
It's over your head. The water behind you looks very calm right there, but that's a cove, right?
Yeah, that's a cove. That's in a cove.
So
we were not in a cove, as it turns out. I mean, it was crazy. There was a guy that I talked to. He said he's done the race for 10 different times, and this was the second worst swim that he had ever seen.
Why is it bad? Why is it bad?
It just gets super choppy. And when you breathe, like, chop is different than wave. So, when the waves are coming in on the shore, they're predictable. Like, you see a wave and you can almost time the next one. But out in the middle of the ocean, it's just choppy. So you can't time the wave. So sometimes you take a breath and you just suck in water because you're getting hit in the face. But I did have a army of prayer warriors, I could tell, because I never lost my brain. And to be honest, I was pretty terrified of the open water swimming part, but I felt peaceful. I did take on a lot of water, and I had to stop and tread water for a minute and then get back in the river is what they call it, because the current is so strong. But I was able to keep my bearings, I guess is what I'm saying.
Well, glad you survived, because it was in question there for a while, and but the Lord helped you. If you want to read more or hear more about Sarah's race escape from Alcatraz. She posted about it on her Facebook page. You can look it up there. And then there also, when it's the escape from Alcatraz people who are putting this story together about you, right?
Yeah, they're doing a
you'll be part
story,
of.
and it will be a video story. It'll be a social media story, all sorts of things. I mean, they did a fairly long interview, which is so funny. I think a lot of people think that that's normal because I used to be in television. That's not normal. Like there's 2,000 racers and they just like randomly, or not randomly, but like for whatever weird reason, like
well,
chose
they probably
me, and it was weird.
A triathlon magazine, an international magazine, did a story about you recently. So that's probably where they saw you, and you talked in that about how you're going to escape from Alcatraz. That's probably how they figured you out, right?
Right. Yeah, I assume so. And then it's weird because I mean, they don't care if I win, lose, or draw, but it was weird because like as I was in the water, I'm like, there's cameras on me right now. Like there's people following me. Don't screw this up. But I don't know. I think sometimes pressure is good. And then sometimes, it can also make you buckle, one of the two. But
yeah. Well, it's neat to have it documented. That's for sure.
It is.
And,
I know they asked me a lot of questions about you and the kids. And so that was kind of cool. I mean, for me, I like to share my faith. So it was kind of neat because they were asking about y'all. And I was like, well, I went to bed with a prayer for my husband and my son. And I woke up to prayer text messages for my daughters, like separately, and got to share those. So that was kind of cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're glad you're back. Diana did a nice job filling in yesterday. And I was
the lovely Diana
at the end of last week. She was on vacation. All right. That'll do it for us. Thank you for being with us on Tuesday. We'll see you back here on Wednesday.
Bye.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by Command Family Medicine and Taylor Grubaugh Chevrolet. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to your Tuesday. It is going to be kind of a rainy day in the forecast, especially if you're up in some of our northern counties. There's already some rain on the radar, but this is not the main show. I have more widespread storms and even severe weather in the forecast as we head into later today. Early today, there may be some torrential rain. So especially if you're listening north of Highway 60, you may want to grab the umbrella this morning. There are some spotty showers and thunderstorms out there that could last through the mid-morning hours. We get some dry time through the middle of the day. We warm things up, and then a cold front brings severe weather as we head into tonight, into the overnight hours, into early Wednesday morning. So very active, to say the least, across the Ozarks today. Conditions starting out very mild. I've got morning numbers in the mid and upper 60s. It's warm already, and it'll be a warm day today. Even if you're waking up with the rain and storms, we'll eventually see high temperatures land in the mid 80s. Got 85 for the high temperature forecast in Springfield today. We've got a south breeze out ahead of our cold front, but that front is what comes through much later this evening and tonight. And that's the one that carries the chance for severe weather. There's going to go a flood watch that's going to go in place across the Ozarks this afternoon and evening, taking place through Wednesday because some torrential rain is possible in this forecast. I think the strongest storms that develop today will be in our northwestern counties, and that's kind of where the strong ones are out there early today. We continue to see opportunities for rain and storm activity in the forecast as we head into Wednesday, and really there's a daily chance in this forecast, but the big show, it arrives late tonight, and I'm expecting that temperatures, well, they're going to be warm out ahead of that. We've got a bunch of unstable air. We'll be able to tap into some of that in the form of severe weather as we head into this evening and overnight tonight. Heavy downpours, gusty winds, large hail, and lightning are all what's in the forecast for tonight. There's also this risk of excessive rainfall. Most of that will be centered from central Missouri back up through our northwestern counties, but it's also the boundary where we see the strong storms that could develop with hail and high wind, and I'm expecting torrential rain with some of these storms as well. Rain is going to linger into the forecast as we head into Wednesday morning as well, so you may have a soggy morning drive tomorrow. big heads up to you. We are saturated across the Ozarks, meaning that our ground is wet, the soil is wet, and we will hold on to this daily storm chance through the entire week and weekend. And what this means is rainfall totals anywhere from 3 to 6 inches across the Ozarks through the week. That's way too much water too quickly. And this frontal boundary, it's slow moving. It's going to set up across the region this week and bring daily chances for rain and thunderstorms. Possibility of multiple round of rain is going to lead to this flooding threat that I told you about. A flood watch goes into effect this afternoon. It'll last through tonight and Wednesday. I do think that some locations that get some of the torrential rain and the heavy downpours are going to be the same spots that got a whole lot of rain just last week. So flooding on my radar. And I think by the weekend, we are definitely going to be seeing some water rises across the Ozarks with some of our area lakes and rivers. Around the country, what's making headlines? Well, it's our widespread rain and severe weather chance affecting much of the midsection of the country. We also have much colder weather settling into the central U.S., while the East Coast is ramping up with the warmth. We also have wet weather across portions of South Florida today, and that's going to last for a couple of days, really through Thursday of this week. Anybody with vacations planned, it's looking pretty soggy for our friends in South Florida. And we've got another round of moderate to heavy rainfall for much of the Southwest, which of course had some heavy rain just 1 week ago. So very active across the country once again. All right, it's time for the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister Trivia question for the day. And it's a unique one because yesterday, the correct answer is actually 2 of the options that were on this list. So either one will get you a correct entry. Which hurricane holds the record for the highest wind speed ever recorded in the Atlantic? And the options were A, Hurricane Katrina, Hurricane Wilma, Hurricane Irma, or Hurricane Dorian. And there are 2 tied for highest. It's Wilma and Dorian. So congrats if you chose B or D. Wind speed 185 miles an hour. Of course, damaging and deadly, not just with the wind speeds and the severe weather threat that develops after hurricanes make landfall, but the storm surge, the incredible moisture across the community. It's insane, some of the winds coming out of the hurricanes, and it is expected to be a very active hurricane season that's just now beginning. All right, here's the question that I'll leave you with for tomorrow. Which of these is a primary factor that fuels the development and intensification of tropical storms and hurricanes? Do you think it's A, cold ocean water, B, high wind shear, C, warm ocean water, or D, dry air? Which of these is a primary factor that fuels the development and intensification of tropical storms and hurricanes? You can let me know your guess. That's at aroundtheozarks.com. Thank you so much for listening this morning, and I want everyone to stay weather aware through the day. We have some rain and storms out there this morning. This is not the main show. Cold front on the way. It should allow for storms to arrive in the Springfield area probably after 8 p.m. tonight. Storm chance will be ongoing in the overnight hours and will likely last through Wednesday morning. There could be flooding in the Ozarks, hail, and high wind too. I'll be back to chat with you first thing tomorrow.